Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
In just a few hours, the search will resume for a missing child. The work this morning to try to find a 7-year-old boy after he vanished in the Tar River.
And we'll have to dress in layers today. Nice spring day this afternoon, but we're starting in the 30s. I'll show you what causes that swing in temperatures coming up.
New leadership. Today we expect to learn who NC State's next chancellor will be, what we know about the decision that's coming later this morning. And it is a much cooler start to our morning temperatures today, but as Chris showed you, it is going to be a beautiful Tuesday. Welcome to it. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Tuesday here as we get things started. It'll be the first four get started, so basketball is on tonight. We'll talk about that, as well as the attention grabber of the cold outside. Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
And grab a jacket for the attention grabber, right? Temperatures about 18 to 23 degrees lower right now than they were just 24 hours ago. But a great look at Zebulon here. Notice the flags hardly moving. At this point yesterday morning, it was a lot windier. Starting out, temperature in Raleigh and Durham at about 44, but once you make it outside of city limits, it is much cooler throughout the triangle. Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, 40 degrees, South Hill at 35, Southern Pines in the mid-30s as well. So the dog walk, at least at first, is going to be a cool one. By midday, it feels nice and comfortable, 60 degrees at lunchtime. High temperatures this afternoon in the low 70s. Going to be great to get outside. Only downside we want to tell you about is that the pine pollen is starting to make its way back into the mix. May notice a little bit of yellow popping up out there, but in any case, we are tracking some rain. We'll show you if that lowers those pollen levels coming up in just a bit. Michelle?
Fingers crossed there. Thank you, Chris. Michelle McConaughey in for Ken Smith this morning, taking a look at your traffic this morning. This is a live look, I-40 at Wade Avenue. It's busy this morning. A lot of people on the roads this morning. All of our major routes this morning all looking free and clear. You can see a lot of green on the map, which is indicating clear roadways, which is what you want to see. I am tracking a crash near Zebulon. This one here. It's been here for about an hour. This is US 64 eastbound, just past North Arundel Avenue. They are calling this a serious crash. We know that the right lane of US 64 is blocked. All green on the map. That is an improvement. We were seeing some yellow before, indicating some delays, but it looks like that is clearing up this morning. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. We're going to take you up to Durham. Things looking good. They're not seeing any delays so far this morning. If you are in the car, you can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle, 101.5 HD3.
Michelle, thanks. At 9 this morning, crews in Franklin County will resume their search for a 7-year-old boy. Divers were in the Tar River for hours last night before suspending their search around midnight. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Franklin County. And Laura, the boy's family, as well as so many of us, praying for a miracle.
Renee, good morning. The sheriff's office says that they had to suspend their search here near the Tar River because of the chilly temperatures and the quick water. It was really hard to sustain the search for those first responders, of course, keeping safety in mind for them as well. However, they're going to pick things back up here later this morning. All of this after dozens of crews. If you take a look at this video, you can see they responded to that call around 5:30 yesterday afternoon about a child who went into the river and never resurfaced. This is in Franklinton, just off of Rogers Road, and last night dive teams searched about 300 yards of water for the boy. Crews used an underwater drone to search the murky waters, and of course now the family is hoping and praying for the best outcome.
I ask that the public to continue to pray. We're asking everyone to seek God's face right now. Right now we don't know nothing, but we're asking you all to continue to pray for us.
So in a late night press conference, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office says that it appears a group of children were playing near the Tar River before that little boy fell into the water. However, the investigation into what happened, they're still looking into it. We will be here to let you know how things go later this morning, of course, when that search begins at 9 a.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Franklinton.
We have more breaking news we're following this morning. A driver is dead after a crash happened on South New Hope Road. I'm going to take you to this scene that happened this morning. Police say the crash happened just before 11:30 last night near South Rogers Lane. WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there after 1 o'clock this morning. Our crew saw white sheets draped on a car off the road and the coroner's van right there on that scene. We are working to learn more about what caused the crash.
Around 1 this morning, Lake Wheeler Road reopened at I-40 in Raleigh. The bridge over I-40 was closed for more than 9 hours. This was because a crash involving two vehicles knocked down a utility pole and traffic signals there. Sky 5 flew over the scene while crews worked to repair the damage. No injuries were reported.
Happening today, we'll learn who will be NC State's next chancellor. UNC's Board of Governors will meet at 9:30 to make that decision. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is on NC State's campus this morning. Kelsey, a Wolfpack alum is expected to be the next school leader.
Yes, Jeff, a new leader is set to come here to NC State in the next few months, and the UNC Board of Governors has already announced that they plan to elect that new chancellor this morning. 24/7 Sports cites multiple sources saying Kevin Howell was the pick. We're working to confirm that with our sources. Howell already has ties to the university as a former student. He has been the Chief External Affairs Officer for UNC Health for about a year. And before that, he held multiple roles at NC State, including the Vice Chancellor for External Affairs and the Vice President for External Affairs for the UNC system. If elected, Howell would become the 15th chancellor of NC State. He would take over after Chancellor Randy Woodson steps down in June. The Board of Governors is set to meet at 9:30 this morning virtually, so we'll be sure to have our crews monitoring that live stream, and we'll keep you updated on the final decision. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Breaking news. Palestinian officials say at least 326 people are dead as Israel has launched new strikes, shattering the ceasefire deal. Overnight bombardments hit locations across Gaza. Israel's defense minister declared, "Tonight we return to fighting in Gaza." The new attacks come after talks to release more hostages stalled. Hamas rejected all offers given by mediators, including from the U.S. The White House says Israel notified the Trump administration before it conducted the new strikes. Hamas says senior security official Mahmoud Abu Wafda is among the people killed in the strikes. The Israeli military says the strikes will continue for as long as necessary, and its military action will extend beyond airstrikes.
Today, we'll learn more about how Wake County Schools is addressing the wait time teens are facing for driver's ed programs. Last year, WRAL reported some students were waiting as long as 5 months to get enrolled. Since then, the school system has been working to get more instructors on board and students behind the wheel.
They've been working on getting more instructors hired at a lot of these contractors to speed up these wait times. And we'll hear tonight what kind of a difference they've been able to make.
It's on the agenda, and the board meets at 5:30 this evening.
Time is 6:07 here in the WRAL Live Center. Today, one thing that we will be watching is the return trip for NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams. What you're seeing here behind me are two different videos. On the left side of your screen, that is the undocking after it happened early this morning. And on the right, that was the moment the capsule was closed before the return trip began. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule today, right? So again, at 1:05 this morning, that's when the undocking happened. And then at 4:45 this afternoon, NASA's return coverage begins. At 5:11, the deorbit burn happens as the capsule returns to Earth, and then at 5:57, splashdown. And notice I put the WRAL News logo there because that's right before our 6 o'clock newscast. You can definitely be sure that we'll be watching that closely here in the WRAL Live Center then. And then at 7:30 tonight, there will be a press conference that'll be held with the NASA astronauts. I think one big question people are asking, how are they doing? They were only supposed to be there for 10 days, and yet they lasted about 10 months up there. We'll watch closely to see the splashdown as it happens here in the WRAL Live Center.
What a moment that will be. Can't wait. State lawmakers are fine-tuning a bill that would ban public school students from taking cell phones to class. A House Judiciary Committee will meet at 1 this afternoon to discuss House Bill 87. The bill would require each school district to adopt a policy to restrict student access to cell phones during class time. State senators are discussing a similar bill in the House. The proposal needs approval from Governor Josh Stein to become law. He has said he supports the idea.
People living in Durham are pushing for city leaders to expand the HEART program there. The community program sends unarmed crisis responders out to some emergency calls. Last night, a crowd of people gathered to talk about the importance of the program. Since it started 3 years ago, responders have received more than 26,000 calls. There's also a push to go beyond city limits to cover all of Durham County and to serve Durham public schools as well.
A lot of folks, when they show up the first time, they're like, what's happening here? Because unfortunately, we still have a lot of folks in the community who still haven't heard of HEART, the program. So we're doing a lot to get the word out still about what it is and the benefits of it.
And WRAL will continue to follow this story and have any updates on the community's push to expand that program on our news and on WRAL.com.
Life-changing care, the help parents of children with Down syndrome will get from a newly opened clinic in Chapel Hill.
In high demand, the big price for some fans and what they're paying for NCAA tickets at the Lenovo Center and the economic boost businesses are expecting from all those tournament games.
And thankfully, the March Madness in the weather world, at least locally, has calmed down for the time being. Start with a jacket this morning, but you're in the 70s this afternoon. I'll show you when this map is going to be covered in 80s coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, a happy Tuesday to you. Starting out with a live look over the Natural Science Museum there. You see that crystal clear sky over downtown Raleigh already. Things getting busy on the roads out there. We'll have an update with Michelle and traffic in just a little bit. Starting out with the jacket and Cary, 36 degrees. Fuquay's at 42, Nightdale at 40. Wake Forest, good morning, you're at 37. Chapel Hill down to 36. Most of us at the bus stop will be in the mid to upper 30s, so definitely grab the jacket. It's cold. It's calm, though. The wind not quite as breezy as it was yesterday, but a little bit of sunshine. In fact, a whole lot of it is going to do us some good today. Lunchtime temperatures mainly low to mid 60s. Highs in the low 70s this afternoon. I'll show you when the 80s return coming up.
All right, thank you, Chris. And taking another look at traffic this morning, I am keeping an eye on this crash that I've been telling you about all morning long in Zebulon here. They're calling it a serious crash. Highway 64 eastbound near North Arundel Avenue. The icon is still there, but I just got word that crash has since cleared. There was one lane blocked. That lane has since reopened, so that icon should disappear in just a little bit. Taking a look in our southern counties, Fayetteville, Wade, Hope Mills, all of our main roads there are clear. I'll have another update coming up in 10 minutes, Jeff.
All right, Michelle, we'll look forward to it. A lot of folks will remember this video from last week. A man was escorted out of a town hall meeting in Asheville after he got into a shouting match with a North Carolina congressman. Now that man is speaking out, saying he has no regrets about what he said or did. Jake Carey is a disabled veteran. The 54-year-old got angry with Congressman Chuck Edwards over his support on some actions taken by President Trump. Carey says he is also concerned about potential cuts to Medicare and Social Security. He says as a veteran, he feels neglected and isolated. He also says the congressman isn't thinking for himself on the important issues.
He spent so much time in the beginning, about the first 20 minutes, patting himself on the back, telling people how good of a job he's doing, how good of a job Donald Trump is doing, how much he supports Donald Trump, how much he says Donald Trump supports the Constitution, which he does not at all.
Now, Edwards told CNN he enjoyed what he described as lively conversation and that town halls are necessary. He also says he needs to ask the White House for specifics on federal layoffs.
A federal court wants answers from the Trump administration as the White House defends its mass deportation of undocumented migrants. It says were charged with violent crimes. The White House says it deported nearly 300 migrants. It says are these violent members of gangs. The White House says the U.S. government paid El Salvador $6 million to detain them. Now, a federal court wants to know if the Trump administration complied with a judge's order to temporarily delay deportations. That includes whether any flights took off after the order was issued. The White House says it complied.
A new clinic in Chapel Hill is providing specialty services for people with Down syndrome. The UNC Down Syndrome Clinic will offer care from infancy through adulthood. It is the first lifelong clinic in North Carolina and only the second in the Southeast. A woman from Robeson County drives 2 hours to UNC Children's Hospital for her daughter's care. She says a clinic like this is a game changer.
The questions that you ask yourself daily, am I doing the right thing? This clinic is going to help us navigate through that, to help us reassure ourselves that we are doing the right thing. Because they're going to put us in a position, they're going to set us in directions that are going to set us up for success for our children.
Appointments are available to book online, and the clinic officially opens to patients Friday.
Today, a state Senate committee is expected to discuss allowing gun owners in North Carolina to carry a concealed weapon without a permit. Right now, you have to hold a permit to be allowed to carry a concealed weapon in our state. Getting a permit requires several hours of training on gun laws and safe handling. You also have to be 21. The constitutional carry bill would get rid of the permit requirement. Anyone who can legally have a gun could carry it concealed without a training requirement. It would also lower the age to carry a concealed weapon to 18.
Oh, get ready for the madness that is March basketball coming to the Triangle. Opening weekend of the NCAA tournament will hit Raleigh, Chapel Hill, and Durham. 20 of the country's best basketball teams will be here, along with their fans. All three of the Triangle's ACC women's teams are top seeds and will host games. Some of the best men's teams, including UConn, Florida, and Duke, will play at the Lenovo Center. Top teams, as we know, cost top dollars. Ticketmaster shows the best seats are going for over $1,000 each. Compare that to Milwaukee, where the tickets cap out at about $600. The tournament is expected to bring in $10 million to Raleigh alone.
They're going to be going out, and they're going to want to experience some of the local flavor, especially the NC State themed type restaurants.
Now, the last time Raleigh hosted the men's tournament was 2016. About 2/3 of the people who came in were from out of state.
And for those coming in this week, they should get some decent weather. Today will be a lovely day. Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a very cool image. This is a water spout off our coast.
Exactly. Yeah, this was yesterday near Southport along the Cape Fear River. So if you're visiting for the tournament, you're not going to see anything quite like this. But Cindy Manning sent it through Report It, WRAL.com/report it. That's where you go to send your weather pictures. Really cool shot there. Things this far inland, much calmer right now. North Hills starting out clear, calm, and cold. You'll need the jacket this morning. You won't by the afternoon. Pretty typical spring fashion for us here in the Triangle with Durham and Raleigh at 72 to 73 degrees. Fayetteville slightly warmer at 74. Just a little bit of a breeze today and slightly more wind tomorrow. You see the gusts there, 15 to 25 miles per hour. That's not really enough to go noticing too much, but what you will notice is how that's going to give our temperatures an extra nudge. This is tomorrow afternoon. Crazy stuff. We go from the 40s tomorrow morning to the 80s by the afternoon with Raleigh, Benson, Goldsboro at 81, Sanford 83 degrees. Roanoke Rapids, you'll be in the mid 70s, but still quite warm for the final day of winter. Yeah, spring officially starts Thursday at 5:01 in the morning when the sun is directly over the equator. We're already past 12 hours of daylight, and we'll make good use of that after Thursday. Another front's going to move through Thursday, not as strong as what we saw Sunday. We'll see some showers, maybe a few claps of thunder, but really that's about it. It will help to cool things off for the back half of the week. Friday, we're back down in the 30s at the bus stop, then temperatures low 60s by the afternoon. And as we get ready for tournament time this weekend, doesn't look too bad. Temperatures in the 40s, highs near 70 degrees as we head into the weekend. But I know a lot of folks have an eye on tomorrow. I mean, 80s.
I'm going to be outside all day.
Definitely, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Chris.
You got it.
And taking another look at traffic this morning, we'll take you outside. This is I-40 at Lake Wheeler Road. Couple cars on the road, but this is more of a quieter spot this morning. Taking a look at the map as a whole, all of our major routes this morning looking clear. Of course, you still see the crash icon here. This is actually a new crash, so I'm going to take a look at that. I'll have an update for you on where that is and what's going on in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Michelle. Caught on the run, how investigators were able to track down the local man accused of a deadly stabbing in just hours and across state lines.
And avoiding sticker shock. The change Wake County is making to property reassessments to try to help people navigate the uncertainty.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Today in What's Trending, a big honor for Mariah Carey.
And she was given the Icon Award during last night's iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Do you like the ensemble?
Who wouldn't, right? In her speech, Carey thanked her fans and paid tribute to her mom, who died in August.
The Queen of Christmas, an absolute icon. I vividly remember when Visions of Love came out, middle school Renee with the glasses, braces. Oh yeah, I had listened to that song and I was like, She has the voice of an angel. 5-octave range. She is amazing.
Neither of you have changed. Neither of you have changed. You lost the braces and the glasses, though.
Well, we're getting our first look at the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2. Entertainment Weekly shared these pictures of the stars on set. The movie is due to come out in October.
Calm down, Renee, and hold me back from this one, okay? Johnny Cage is going to make an appearance in this, and this is set made for Hollywood in Hollywood. Can't wait.
This movie is about conflict resolution, right?
Late October. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
and
it's
anger
good. It's
management.
very calm. Forever 21 is closing all its stores across the country after filing for bankruptcy. The retailer has locations at Crabtree Valley Mall, streets at South Point, and Cross Creek Mall. In a bankruptcy filing, it put part of the blame on fierce competition from Chinese retailers Shein and Temu. Forever 21 survived a bankruptcy in 2019 by closing about 100 stores and restructuring its business. It has been unable to find a buyer, though, for the 350 stores that remain.
A rare sighting of 4 snow leopards caught on video in Pakistan. A gamekeeper in one of the world's highest mountain ranges spent a week tracking the leopard by their paw prints before finally spotting them. People who live near their natural habitat call snow leopards the ghosts of the mountains because of how rarely they're seen. They are listed as vulnerable on the international list of threatened species.
Today, we expect to learn who NC State's next chancellor will be, what we know about the decision that is coming later this morning.
And as we get ready for March Madness on the basketball court, the weather doing a little bit of the same with all these temperature swings and a cold front causing that. We'll show you what else that's going to bring to our weather this week coming up.
And fire rips through condos in the North Carolina mountains. How a Durham man sprang to action to help get the people inside to safety.